Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another book review. Thank you for tuning in. What if a tiger showed up and demanded the stories your harmony stole? And your answer could change the lives of the people you love. So today I'm opening Tae Keller's Newbery Medal winner, When You Trap a Tiger, a Korean American coming of age where folk tales walk into real life. Grief sits at the kitchen table, and a shy sixth grader has to decide what truth costs. So think Pan's Labyrinth meets A Monster Calls, but for middle grade readers. It's a very tender, eerie, and brave story. So, hello everyone, I'm Barry. This is Seoul Book Club. And Tae Keller's When You Trap a Tiger is a middle grade novel rooted in Korean folk tales and folklore. So, published in January of 2022. Oh, is that right? I think it was 2022. Sorry. It became a bestseller, and no, it wasn't 2020. It was 2019. Anyway, published sometime in the last several years, it became a bestseller and was announced by the American Library Association as the Newbery Medal winner for 2020. So it was definitely published before 2020. And so the Newbery is, of course, one of the children's literature's most prestigious awards, and it recognizes the most outstanding contribution in children's literature. So, yes, very famous award. The story follows Lily, a Korean American middle schooler whose family moves in with her harmony. So, harmony is the Korean word for grandmother. And there, her grandmother's folk tales seem to spring to life as Lily confronts some rather painful family truths. And in her author's note, Keller, who actually grew up in Hawaii, lucky for her, explains that she didn't realize how deeply these folk tales mattered to her until college. And when people asked if she was Korean, she would answer just a quarter. And this reply felt wrong to her. And she says she felt like she was dividing her blood into parts. And so, in returning to the stories that inspired Tiger, this became part of her effort to feel whole again. And the novel reflects both her harmonies tales and her experience of growing up biracial. So, what are the painful experiences Lily is enduring as the story begins? So, the novel opens with Lily, her older teen sister Sam, and their emotionally brittle mother on a very tense car ride to their halmoni's house in another part of the States. Lily has just finished sixth grade. And the move sprung has been this sort of move across the country has been sprung on the sisters at a very short notice, and it comes on top of a very sort of challenging experience. So their father died in a car accident a few years ago. And after this incident, Lily's previously very close bond with her now highly self involved sister has frayed quite significantly. And Lily has become increasingly shy and introverted. And on this fraught car journey, she first encounters this magical tiger that will haunt and intimidate her throughout the story. So obviously, this is a lot of pressure for a middle schooler to carry, to bear, to endure, and then a fresh tragedy looms. And so the rest of the novel kind of weaves these threads together as Lily learns how to face the sadness that is waiting for her in her near future. So tigers are a fixture of Korean folklore. So what role does the tiger play in this story? So tigers do indeed loom large in Korean folklore. They're even a significant aspect of the Korean origin myth. And Keller draws on these folk tales that her harmony told her to frame Lily's experience. So in When You Trap a Tiger, the tiger, this tiger that confronts Lily, claims that Lily's grandmother stole its stories. And the tiger is very insistent that these stories must be released back into the world, or there will be dire consequences. So this is not a comforting imaginary friend. The tiger is sly, and scary and intimidating and challenging. And the tiger strikes a bargain that compels Lily to visit the tiger at nighttime and hear its tales, hear its stories. And each story mirrors or interprets or sort of comments on something that is happening in Lily's real life. And they become a way for her to process grief and trauma and anger, this sort of rage that she's experiencing. And these sections are genuinely quite unsettling. So Lily has a lot of bottled up and repressed rage, and this makes her a little unstable. And this instability surfaces in these nocturnal encounters with the manipulative tiger. And so ultimately, this is a story about a child discovering how painful the world can be while growing in self awareness. And it is a bit like Pan's Labyrinth and A Monster Calls, and has a similar sort of atmosphere and vibe, or at least I thought it did. And it uses this sort of folklore and this sort of supernatural element to embody pain and grief and rage. And it does a very good job of capturing the fear and anxiety of childhood with sort of genuine, at times genuinely unsettling accuracy. And just a couple of little notes. So you might have seen some sort of traditional Korean paintings that feature tigers, and often the tigers are smoking pipes. And there's something that I find very charming about seeing these tigers smoking pipes. They're often laid back tigers, they look, they don't necessarily look kind, but there's just something sort of appealing about these smoking tigers. And the Korean equivalent of Once Upon a Time in blah 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 is in the time when tigers used to smoke, is a sort of a Korean a way, a sort of a Korean way of saying once upon a time. So anyway, the tiger aspect is very interesting, and the tiger character is very enjoyable. One small criticism, something that offended me mightily reading this novel, was at one point they go to a restaurant. Sorry, hold on a second. Lily goes to a restaurant with her family, with her sister, her mother, and her grandmother. And so I was a waiter. That was my first job when I was in high school, and when I was an undergraduate, I was a waiter too, and and I knew lots of people who worked as waiters and waitresses. And it's a very difficult job if you're a student and you're juggling your shifts working at the restaurant. And I have students now who are waiters as well, and and at one point in the story, she calls for no reason whatsoever. The nice, friendly young girl who's working as a waitress, she calls her a blonde bobblehead. And I was deeply offended on behalf of this young, hard-working waitress who's probably just trying to scrape some money together. Well, why is the young waitress a bobblehead, Tae Keller? Anyway, apart from that, if you haven't read it, would you make a deal with a tiger to heal someone you love? And if that tiger hooks you, you should pick up this one. And anyway, if you like this review, hit the like button and ring the bell. And I will be back shortly with another book review.